everyone, my name is Roya, and this past week was Portland Book Week, which is a bookstore crawl that is done annually. I think last year was actually the first year, but this is the first year that I've done it myself, and it was so fun. So basically, there's a bingo sheet that we had that has different challenges on it, and you have to go to different bookstores that meet those challenges. And there's a prize for if you got one bingo, there's a prize for 3 bingos, and there's a prize for a blackout. And I actually blacked out the whole sheet. I thought at first that I was just gonna go for 1 bingo, and then I thought I was gonna go for 3 bingos, and then I blacked out the sheet. So that means I went to 25 bookstores in only a week, and that is insane to me. So obviously I got some books along the way. So this is going to be all about the books that I got and from what stores and the story behind my getting them and all of that. So yeah, I'm just gonna go right into it. I started my bookstore crawl journey over at Vintage Books, which is kind of my go-to bookstore because they're really close to me and they have cats and they're really, really awesome people. And I picked up my bingo sheet, and I had just been there like a month prior, so I didn't really think that I would find any new used books that weren't there last time, but I looked anyway, and I found The Rainfall Market by Yu Yongguang. This is a book that I've actually had my eye on for quite some time. And I was really happy that they had this, so that was really, really awesome. And then I also saw that they had this used copy of the Atlas 6, and since I keep meaning to read this book and just not reading it, I decided to pick this up as well. I have read one of her other books and didn't really like it very much, but people keep raving about the Atlas 6, and so I feel like I should really just read it. Next, I went to several bookstores in a row. I really only got one thing at one of them, and that was Promise of Blood by Brian McClellan. Doesn't this dude look like Harrison Ford, or is that just me? But anyway, so Parallel Worlds is an all fantasy, is an all SFF bookstore, and they're really cool. My sibling actually lives relatively close to where they are, and I'm jealous. But so I'd been there before, and found books there before, but so I decided to pick this up because it sounds really good. Next, I went to Third Eye Books, and I got the 1619 Project. This is actually free. They were giving it out that day, and this seems like it must be a very important book because several bookstores in my area have been doing giveaways for this book in the last month or two, so I definitely want to read it. Then I went to the Romance Era, which is a bookstore near me that is closing and pivoting to being a book truck very soon. So since it was almost their last week of operations, I decided to really look and see if there's anything that I wanted. So I found The Wolf and the Woodsman by Ava Reed. Then on the Sunday of the Portland Book Week, I was at band practice, and I realized that my bandmate's house that we're headquartered at for practice and such was fairly close to a bookstore. So oddly enough, this was also the first time that I'd driven my husband's truck. So basically, long story short, last year I got my husband a truck that he wanted, but I had never actually driven it because I just don't do large vehicles. I'm a little bit afraid that I will drive too fast like a normal car and like not be very good at braking fast enough in a larger vehicle and all of that stuff, because it's a little bit different driving a larger vehicle versus a smaller one. So one day, so my drummer and I are at band practice. We had taken my husband's truck. He drove because he's used to large vehicles, and it had air conditioning in it, and his own vehicle was in the shop. So we took my husband's, and then they started doing recording stuff. I didn't have any recording left to do or anything, so I was just like hanging out, and I thought like, okay, I think I can make it to the bookstore and back in, you know, before y'all are done. So I drove the truck for the first time and made it to the bookstore. And so to reward myself for having done such a momentous thing that I was a little bit afraid to do, I got The Bone Shard Daughter by Andrea Stewart. Next, I went to Revolution's bookshop and I got An Echo of Things to Come by James Islington. And I have not actually read, so I have the ebook of, what's it called? Of A Shadow of What Was Once Lost. I forget the name of book one. Oh my gods, but I've had it on ebook forever, and haven't read it yet, even though I hear so many good things about it. So I figure I should get book two so that A, I'm motivated to read book one, and two, I can read book two right after if I really, really love it and can't wait. And while I was there, I also got Riot Woman, Using Feminist Values to Destroy the Patriarchy by Eleanor C. Whitney. This is basically just an informational book that sounds really awesome. I am really excited to read this. And I went to a different bookstore somewhat close to me, probably the farthest from the Portland area, as it's up in Battleground, but it's closer to me than it's probably close to a lot of people. But it is called Literary Leftovers, and they sell primarily used books, and they have a cat. So I had to go there for the cat, obviously. I got The Forgotten Kingdom by Signe Pike. So I read the first book of this, which was The Lost Queen, years ago. I actually had the ARC on NetGalley, so I read it before it was even out, and I forgot about the series, kind of. I kind of just forgot that there were more books in the series. I mean, I knew that there were, but they weren't really on my radar. I didn't really think about it too hard. But basically the series is a historical fiction about the twin sister of the guy who inspired the Legend of Merlin, basically. And the first book was really good, and I don't know, I just didn't really think too much about the series after that. So this is the second one, and I am very excited to finally get back to this series. And finally, I got All the Birds in the Sky by Charlie Jane Anders for only $3 at Rose City Reads, which is a bookstore that is associated with the Friends of the Library organization. So mostly what they sell is like old library books. I've heard really good things about this book and have never read it, so I'm very excited to have landed on a $3 copy. Hooray! So anyway, those are the books that I got as part of Portland Book Week. I figured I should do a separate book haul just for that, since all these books had a story to them, and it was just a really exciting event that I loved participating in, and I'm really excited for next year. So anyway, let me know if you participated in Portland Book Week if you're near me, and if you've read any of these books and which ones I should read first, and I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye!